Hey, Stacy David here. You know, for over 20 years, we've had the privilege of interviewing some of the most amazing people. The problem is, only a fraction of those interviews ever ended up on the TV show. So, we're opening up the vault to give you a look at what it was like to sit down and get to know some of the most unique people in the world. All right, so it's just you and I. Let's just start out with give me your background. How did you get into the whole music industry?
Music industry. My first instrument was a violin.
Really?
It was, yeah. Then from that to the piano. And then, yeah, I think the baritone horn, the sousaphone, and saxophone, F clip, G clip, piano.
Yeah.
And finally, I wound up in a marching band in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in my high school. And then I heard in the distance this low resounding sound, and it was an electric bass. I'd never heard one before. I ran down and found out that this sound I was hearing was an electric bass player, and Lloyd Price, his band was playing down there. The song I heard was Personality. And from that day on, I wanted to play the electric basses. I think I played so many instruments because I was searching for that one that was really me.
Yeah.
And so
and bass was it, huh?
Bass was it. So I went back and I think I got in the symphony, and I used to get kicked out a lot because I played a pizzicato, and they knew it was me. Yeah. And but they were forgiven the next day.
Well, how did you hook up with Jimi Hendrix?
Jimi Hendrix. A couple years later, I wound up at Fort Campbell, 101st Airborne.
Oh, yeah.
And we were coming from a movie, and it was raining, and I wound up on the porch of Service Club number 1, at which time I heard this sound coming from one of the practice rooms, and I heard this guy fumbling, but I heard something in the fumbling. And I said, man, that sounds pretty decent, doesn't it? The guy said, nah, I ain't hearing what you're hearing. He said, that sounds like a bunch of crap. So I went in and introduced myself and checked out one of the little Dan Electro basses, and we became friends.
And it was Jimmy playing.
And it was Jimi Hendrix. He introduced himself, I introduced myself. We formed a band on Post, and the friendship lasted a lifetime.
Oh, that's incredible. Now, okay, so a few years goes after that. Then now Jimmy has become...
Okay, let me carry you along.
Yeah.
We wound up playing at all the shows on Fort Campbell. Service Club number 1, Service Club number 2, EM Club, Officers Club from time to time. And then we found out there was a club in Clarksville that needed a band for every weekend. So then we wound up playing there. It's called the Pink Poodle. And then after we played there for a year or two, then we said, well, it's time to move on. This guy promised us a job in Indianapolis. So we go to Indianapolis. My car would only go on forward. It wouldn't, reverse didn't work.
Now, what kind of car was it?
It was a 53 Plymouth.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, were you guys into the hot rod thing at all?
Not really. We were into the maybe customizing, you know, from the tires, the fat tires, and little chrome here and there, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't afford it. It cost a lot of money. So we went to Indianapolis and starved to death because this guy really didn't know. He says, well, I don't run it. I said, well, you promised us, blah, blah, blah. So we wound up back in Clarksville, and then maybe about 6 months later, this guy, Uncle Teddy and Chico and Dallas Blackman, they came to Clarksville and said, we hear you're one of the baddest bands down here. We'd like you to come to Nashville and audition. So we went to Nashville and auditioned, and I said, man, I really like this, all these girls down here. But unbeknownst to us, they made it ladies' night. You know? Anyhow, we gave the club a 2-week notice, and we wound up in Nashville. That's how we wound up in Nashville. So Jimmy gets itchy feet. We're playing with, the name of our group was the King Casuals.
Yeah.
And we worked on this club and that club and this club and that club. Then we come back to the New Era. To the Del Morocco. We'd get mad at them, and then we'd leave, and they'd give us a raise, and we'd go back. And finally, we left there for good, and Jimmy decided he wanted to do some other things. He knew that destiny was calling him.
Now, were people accepting his sound at the time, or what was the response?
People knew he was good, but he didn't get the reception that he thought because they didn't know, some people didn't know whether to clap or walk out.
Yeah.
That was different, you know, and he'd get his feedback because he couldn't afford a wah-wah or a fuzz, and he'd lay the guitar on the amp to get the feedback, because that's what he liked to manipulate. The time. So I think various people came through, and he said, well, let's go talk to this guy. He's talking to me. So we'd leave there. I said, Jimmy, I don't think he's going to give it in nothing definite. He's just, you know, I said, you can go if you want to. So he'd go off with this MC or whatever. Then the next thing you know, I'm getting a telephone call. Hey, man, he said, I'm stranded in St. Louis. At that time, $25 on a bus, you could fly anywhere. Okay, I'm Western Union, come back. He'd join my band. Then he'd go back out. This went on 4, 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
One time, I'm sitting on the porch on Jefferson Street. Up comes this silver eagle. Out jumps Little Richard. Out jumps Jimmy. Little Richard comes, I said, and the neighbors are saying, that's Little Richard. That was his heyday back in that time, you know. So they come and said, Little Richard, glad to meet you. Jimmy told me a lot about you. Get your stuff and let's go. I said, wait a minute, I got to give these guys a 2-week notice. And so he said, now I want to take you on the road. You know who I am? I said, yeah, right, but I got to do the right thing. He said, well, I need a bass player now. They hopped back in the truck, in the bus, went on. And then finally, maybe about 6 months later, Jimmy calls me. He says, hey, man, he said, this guy's going to send me to Europe and make me a star, and I told him about you. 6 months later, I'm hitting hard times, man. I said, Jimmy, I can't make New York. I'm renting an amp. I got 3 strings on my bass, and the 4th is in a square knot. He said, man, you're in bad shape. I said, yeah. He said, that's all right. I'll make it. I'll go to Europe and make it, and I'll send for you. 2.5 years later, he sent for me. My first gig was Woodstock.
So your first gig was Woodstock. Okay, tell me what it was like to play Woodstock.
Woodstock was a unique experience. We came on the Woodstock Festival from the rear, from the back, and everybody, was a whole city. Thousands, I've never seen that many people in my life. I don't think Jimmy saw that many. And we came to the back of the festival, in this big limousine, and then we hit the loft, and the loft had to carry us up 1 story because it was built, it's kind of on a hill. And Mitch, Jimmy, myself, we opened the curtain to look out, and I looked at Mitch, I said, man, I ain't going out there. But we had some Blue Nun wine.
The great persuasion.
Yeah, great persuasion. Anyhow, we did the festival. It was really good. It was a lot of fun. You've probably seen the DVD.
Now, that's the time, you know, he set his guitar on fire and all that other stuff.
No. He didn't set his guitar on fire in Woodstock. At that time, he had stopped the pyrotechnics.
Okay.
He decided, he said, wait, I got to start playing because this stuff's a little more intricate.
Yeah.
You know, but he did do the dancing and the flips and behind the back and between the legs and with his teeth.
Yeah.
He did do that.
And that's when he played the Star Spangled Banner.
He played the Star Spangled Banner. And if you hear on the DVD, I played for the first 9 notes. And then I said, wait a minute, there's no one playing but me and him. And this was not rehearsed. So I had better lay out. And when I did, that was history.
Yeah.
But you hear me starting, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you probably didn't know where he was going to go.
I didn't know. Because in fact, the whole set, we had rehearsed all those songs over and over and over again. But it's still impromptu because we didn't know. He kind of just, we didn't have a sheet on the ground where we could look down. And he just called the songs or started into it and we knew what it was.
Yeah.
But that had never been rehearsed before. And
that's what made it magic.
Yeah, it was magic. It was magic. It was magic.
So, did his death hit you pretty hard?
Definitely. I mean, I lost my best friend. I lost my job. And man, it was very devastating for me. Yeah. But unfortunately, things got better.
Yeah. Now you continued on. A lot of people don't realize that you became a major session player in town. Worked with Charlie Daniels. Tell us about a little bit of that. What did you do after Jimmy?
After Jimmy, I got in with various bands. I think I had given up playing. Didn't want to play anymore. And then Charlie Daniels called me one night. I was asleep and I went on to Los Angeles and worked with him almost a year. Then I left Charlie. Working around town doing a lot of sessions with various people, because prior to that, I had worked in a few recording sessions with him. So he's a He's all around good picker. He plays good blues, good R&B, good country, good Southern rock. He's a heck of a musician. I see he was just inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Now, let's fast forward a little bit. What are you doing now? Tell me about this last Gypsy Standing.
Okay. Last year, in February, Buddy Miles passed. He was the drummer with the band of Gypsies. And November, Mitch Mitchell passed. This all happened in 2008. And man, that was a,
rough year.
Someone mentioned, man, you're the last Gypsy standing. I thought about that, the last Gypsy standing. So right now, I'm currently working on a CD, and the title of that will be The Last Gypsy Standing.
Now, have you got that on a website or something?
No, I'm still in the studio.
Okay. But then where are you going to sell? You got like billycox.com?
I'll be probably doing that and probably looking for a deal.
Okay. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. So what kind of music is it? Is it all stuff you wrote?
Yeah, all the stuff. It's homegrown with my wife and myself, and we've got some pretty good songs on there. Cool. We'll finish maybe about 5 or 6 right now, and then we got about 6 more to do.
Yeah.
And we'll have it ready for the next tour.
So what kind of hot rod do you have?
Hot rod?
Yeah.
I got a Ford F-150.
Okay. Now tell me about this trike that you've got.
Trike?
Yeah.
I'm a Harley man. Love Harleys, and I have a Heritage Softail Classic. But in 2008, Harley announced for 2009 that they were making a Harley Ultra Classic trike. Now Harley hasn't done that, and I know in a good 50 years, because they had one called a server car that the policemen used to use. And this one is in, I think they bought Lehman, and then Lehman puts, the trike together for them, and it just came in the other day. And I can't wait to, when it comes in from the factory, the windshield's off, and the antennas, and no battery, and the tires. So they're going to put all that together for me about this week. Yeah, I'm going to pick it up.
If you could have any vehicle at all, anything at all, what would it be?
A 55 Chevy.
You like the 55 Chevy?
Blue and white one.
A 2-door hardtop? Or
two-door hardtop. Got to be a 2-door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Now, how about this M38A1 thing that you've got going?
Jeeps are great, too. When I got in the military, it's just a long story, but I was condensing. I knew how to drive, but I didn't have any license. So the sergeant said, I need 4 drivers. I didn't know how the military worked, and I'm standing up there looking at the sergeant. He said, you, and you. And I was one of the yous. He said, you all will have driver's license by Friday. That was a Tuesday. Yeah. Friday, I had my driver's license, and they gave me a M38A1. Yeah. And I had the time of my life. I loved that little Jeep. I washed it every day. and then see, ghosting is when you no one can find you. And I did a lot of ghosting in that Jeep, I tell you. So one day I'd like to put together a M38A1.
Yeah, that you can go ghosting.
That I can go ghosting it, even today.
That's great. Hey everybody, Stacey David here with some exciting news. I just finished up a new children's book called Iggy and the Stickman. Now, like I said, this is my second children's book, and a lot of people ask, man, why do you write children's books? And the answer is very simple. All of us, no matter how old we are still a kid at heart. And sometimes when you take a story and simplify it, it not only makes it easier to understand, a lot of times it's more powerful. And in the case of Iggy and the Stickman, you got the story of a stick who thinks he knows what his goal is in life. And then he has a chance encounter with the mysterious Stickman, and he finds out that his true value is buried somewhere deep within. I'm not going to tell you any more about this story. You're going to love it. There's some great surprises that you're not going to be expecting. So it's a great story to read to your kids, or it's a good gift to maybe give to that person that might be wondering what their goal is in life, what their purpose is. This might help shed some light on it. Get yourself one at staceydavid.com. All right, what I'm doing here, I'm building this car like 1968.
Okay.
And what I'd love to have is a Billy Cox pick and a Jimi Hendrix pick.
You got it.
That I can put on the dash, cover with clear coat, so they'll permanently be on here. Can I get
it? You got it. I got a few at home.
Can I get you to sign my dash and stuff over there?
Sign your dash.
The Billy Cox
I'm agreeable today.
Now tell me about what kind of cars and stuff that you remember, like in the late 60s, what was going on through the muscle car era? you know, the Chevelles, the Mustangs, the things like that. Were you guys into that, or you just?
We weren't really, because we were poor.
Yeah.
The only thing we could do is just admire them from a glance.
Yeah.
And it was the Camaros and the Fords and the Chevys that people had taken, those who had money, and made them into muscle cars and
Were you ever
hot rods.
Were you ever into racing or anything?
No, I never was into racing.
Yeah. No form of that at all. No street racing? You didn't do any street racing?
I watched from a distance.
How about that Chevelle your wife had?
Well, now that was in 70. That's a 70, it was a 70.
71,
72. That was fast. I had a 454 in it.
Yeah.
It dual exhaust, and that thing would get up and fly. One guy told her, said, "Lady, I believe that car is faster than a scalded lizard." And she would come up to school and pulling and kids would turn around and say, "God, that's incredible! This old lady with this car." And it was fast. It would really do it. Yeah.
Calling her an old lady. What was she in her 30s at the time?
Well, yeah, she was in her 30s, but they were in their teens.
Yeah.
Never trust a person over 30, right?
So when you when you were in the military, you were telling us a story about you were driving the Jeep and stuff. What is it about the Jeep that you liked?
I don't know. I think
The fact that there was no top on it?
it's almost like a motorcycle. You've got freedom, no top. You can push the windshield completely down, and you're just right. When you're driving in the country, you're not driving in the country. You are the country.
Yeah.
You got all the smells, and
Sometimes that's not a real good thing.
Sometimes it's not good, especially.
What part of the country you're in?
That's right, depending upon that. But it says freedom. It's like a car like this.
Yeah.
It says freedom.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people enjoy it. That's why people like motorcycles. You notice the old folks are getting into motorcycles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hear this kind of a patriotic thing running through here, talking about freedom and stuff. You were in the military, so what's your take on the military and stuff? You still support them very?
I still support them. We have to have that. Any country that doesn't have a military is doomed for failure.
Yeah.
And you've got to have a strong military presence at all times to cover your backside.
Yeah. So did you enjoy being part of the 101st Airborne?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. At that time, we were the country was very patriotic.
Yeah.
We felt that you weren't a real man unless you had some military experience. And then everybody served their time. They got out and they did their reserve time, and it was much better. Now it's a little different. It's a professional army, and that's good too if people want to do. But I think sometimes you overwork people, and especially in combat situations. That's too hard on the persona.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very difficult.
That was an awesome bite, man. That was great. That was fantastic, man. Okay, Billy, play one. Easy there now.
Yeah.
Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Oh, before you accuse me, take a look at Billy Carr. You're spending money on the women. You're saving money for somewhere else.
That's good, sir. We got to take this on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Gallatin Road, Murfreesboro Road, Nolensville Road.
Funny, I haven't done that song in ages, man.
I say, what the heck? It's all about fun, and that's all.
All right, what else you got?
I got nothing.